Alexander the Great, did he really conquer the known world? He was a boy king, a student of Aristotle, a god to some, a tyrant to others. By the time he died, just shy of his 33rd birthday, he had built the largest empire the world had ever seen. But did Alexander the Great truly conquer the known world, or is that just legend? Let's find out. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the ancient kingdom of Macedonia, north of Greece. His father was King Philip II, an ambitious ruler who had already begun uniting the fractured Greek city-states. But Alexander's mind wasn't just shaped by royal blood, it was shaped by brilliance. His personal tutor was none other than Aristotle, the philosopher who taught him medicine, ethics, logic, and strategy. And from a young age, Alexander was obsessed with Achilles, the legendary warrior of Troy. To him, greatness wasn't optional, it was fate. When his father was assassinated in 336 BCE, Alexander inherited the throne at just 20 years old. But he didn't hesitate. He crushed rebellions in Greece with brutal speed, even razing the city of Thebes to the ground as a warning. And then he turned his gaze east. His goal? To bring down the mighty Persian Empire, the largest and richest the world had known. It was ruled by King Darius III. To most, that would have been a death sentence. But Alexander was no ordinary king. At the Battle of Granicus, he charged directly into enemy lines, across a river. At Issus, he faced Darius himself and defeated him. At Gaugamela, despite being outnumbered, Alexander's tactics shattered the Persian army. Darius fled, and not long after, he was killed by his own men. Alexander marched through the great cities of the east, Babylon, Susa, Persepolis. He had done it. He had conquered Persia. But Alexander didn't stop there. In 332 BCE, he entered Egypt and was hailed as a liberator. He visited the oracle of Siwa, deep in the desert, and was declared the son of Zeus Ammon, a god. And in that moment, Alexander began to believe he wasn't just a man. He founded the city of Alexandria, one of many that would bear his name. Even today, it still stands. But he kept going, further east, into the unknown. He crossed the harsh terrain of the Hindu Kush and entered India. There, he met King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes. Porus had war elephants. The battle was fierce, but Alexander emerged victorious. He was so impressed by Porus's bravery that he let him continue ruling his kingdom. But his army was exhausted. Years of marching, fighting, and bleeding had taken their toll. They refused to go any farther, and for the first time, Alexander had to turn back. On the return journey, many of his men perished in the brutal Gedrosian desert. Then, in Babylon, it ended. In 323 BCE, Alexander fell suddenly ill. Some say it was fever, others whisper of poison. Whatever it was, he died without naming a clear successor. When asked who should inherit his empire, his final words were, "To the strongest." What followed was chaos. His generals, the Diadochi, divided his empire and turned on each other. The dream of a unified world collapsed, but the legacy remained. So, did he conquer the known world? To the Greeks of his time, yes. He had stretched his empire from Greece to Egypt, from Persia to the edge of India. But great civilizations in China, Africa, and the Americas remained untouched. Still, what Alexander left behind was more than territory. He spread Greek culture, language, and ideas, from temples to city streets, from libraries to marketplaces. This new age of cultural fusion would later be known as the Hellenistic era. He died young. His empire crumbled. But over 2,000 years later, his name still echoes through history. Alexander the Great. Not just a conqueror, but a legend. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Which historical figure should we uncover next? Hannibal? Boudica? Genghis Khan? Let us know.